hey, we're going to keep the chat open as well. So if you see something we miss, hey, let us know. We're going to keep an eye.
And the uncle saying red mail for cowards, which, maybe if he were wearing red mail, he wouldn't end up the way he ended up.
Yep. Sometimes you just got to take that extra little level of comfort so that if you fall down in a well, for instance, you don't find yourself in a big bad way.
And
Ooh,
it
we got a
looks
bit
like
of
we've got all crystals in all that world, and the hair crystal is one of the red ones.
Yeah, interesting to see all crystals. It's kind of nice to know that if you have to dip into anything, it's going to be something that you want to finish. But the problem is, in this game, there's a lot of items that stack. You need a certain kits of items in order to do anything, like the bow, for instance.
Oh, that's going to be important.
That's a nice one to start off with.
Very nice.
The bow is one of those ones that you can start trolling you because it's only really necessary in a couple spots, being Eastern Palace, and then to make any progression to the boss, and sometimes to progress at all in Palace of Darkness, and then of course in Ganon's Tower. Other than that, it's kind of an optional weapon, so a lot of the time it will hang out and not be available first thing in the seed.
Yeah, it's one of those items. The fewer situations that an item is useful in, the more locations it can be in. Just based on how the logic of the randomizer works, which means that, for example, the ice rod, which is used in literally only one place, can be anywhere in the game, and it's usually one of those items that trolls our runners pretty badly trying to find it.
Yeah, that one's especially bad. The only thing it does is kill Trinex, the boss of Turtle Rock. Now, we don't know if we need to kill that boss tonight because there's only two scenarios in which we do. One is if it's a crystal dungeon, obviously, but another one would be if we need to get the pendant for that dungeon. We don't know what pendant it could be. It's got a solid chance of being a pendant tonight since all three pendants are in the Dark World.
Yep, which is always fun because then you have to make the decision. You have to weigh: do you want to go into a pendant dungeon because you might find an item? If it's a green pendant, you go pull it for Sahasrah's item. It's questions that you have to ask yourself, and it's questions that sometimes keep runners up at night.
Mm-hmm. What these guys won't be up all night thinking about, though, is where they're going to get some cash because we have a nice 300 rupees. Also, a red boomerang there just after getting the bow. So, kind of got a nice little kit of money and stuff to get started with. Everyone's going to be trying to get some bombs as well. I think everybody has, at least 2 bombs, so we can get those items in the back of the escape on the way out.
Yeah, those items are likewise. If you don't have bombs to get them, they can get orphaned quite readily because you need a specific set of items to go back and find them. If you don't get them on the way in or the way out.
Yeah, luckily our runners are going to be all right. Hopefully, some of them have done quite well. They've gotten 8 bombs. A few people, nice, solid bomb drop. Which is good because a lot of people are going to be heading straight to Kakariko Village right after this. A lot of chests to check in a very small area, so that's probably where all of our runners are going to be heading right afterward. But who knows? Once they're free, they might do something more interesting.
Yeah, like Eastern Palaces would be an attractive play because they have the items they need to clear it. Except for technically you need the lamp, but all of our runners are skilled at navigating dark rooms, so that's really only a suggestion.
Yeah, they won't technically be in logic, but it might be something that they can get out of the way. And we know it's a crystal, so every dungeon you clear that's a crystal is very tangible progress. I like seeing all of our different sprites here.
Yeah, the randomizer has over 300 sprites available right now, each of them individually animated and colored and painted, and some of them look really, really neat.
Yeah, I really like the Samus one. I for some reason I can't play myself with ones that aren't kind of basically just Link with a different head, so I play as the fox, which is cute. But people can change other stuff too. You see a couple people with different color hearts. We've got a blue and a yellow heart on the right side of the screen here. That's one of the other little options you can change.
Yeah, and the color of the heart was actually implemented as disability an accessibility feature for a colorblind member.
Now, we've seen a lot of changes that have helped with people who have color blindness. For instance, all the bottles will have a little letter telling you whether it's a blue or a green or a red bottle, which is very convenient if those colors might seem to be a little bit similar to you.
Ditto with the stars that appear. You see the star by the symbol for the Tower of Hera crystal. The stars indicate the red crystals and the green pendant to let you know that they're special.
And special they sometimes are, because those the 5 and 6 crystals, the red ones with the star, can open up the pyramid, which has 2 items in it. And let me tell you, if you get trolled by one of those, it feels bad. Ask me how I know.
How do you know, Cataclysm?
I know because I ran in the 2 p.m. My goodness, it feels like eons ago, but it was yesterday, and I was the last runner by a mile because I last locationed a hook shot in the pyramid.
Oh, that hurts.
Mm-hmm. But we're getting a little check of the items in the back of the escape here. Really not much happening in the sewer. It's getting a little...
Well, I mean, if Swamp Palace is dependent, all you need to do is learn how to hover mode on 2, right?
Sure.
Sure. It's that easy.
Assuming you have the boots.
Assuming you have the boots.
Oh my.
Cassie, did you? Oasis is asking if you meant the 9 p.m. last night.
No, it was the 2 p.m. that I did yesterday, and then I ran away and did not play randomizer again.
Well, while we were talking about that, we found the red cane in the sanctuary, so that's one item that won't be trolling our runners today.
Yeah, red cane. It's a nice find. It's very useful for a few things here and there. It's a very interesting item. They really haven't had anything like that, I don't think, in other Zeldas, where it kind of does 2 things. One is, first thing is it places a block, and the block can be used to damage enemies and maybe feel your way around if you're in a dark room. But if you press the same button again after the block has been put out, it kind of turns into a crossways pattern. And also it turns into blocks that you can use to kind of navigate in Turtle Rock, these floating platforms. So a lot of interesting uses that cane.
Yeah, it's definitely something that we haven't seen, to my memory, anything like that in recent Zelda.
I was trying to see what they were looking at on the ledge there, but I couldn't quite make it out. Hopefully nothing too exciting.
Commentators cursed that. Unfortunately I didn't catch it either. I was jaw jacking over here, and I didn't see it either.
I looked at it twice. I looked at it on our stream and then on my couple of seconds behind Twitch stream, because, sometimes you miss stuff and you want to have another peek.
Oh, it's a bug net.
I still didn't see it. Okay, there we go. Much better look. Thank you. Thank you, Draco Falcone. So, absolutely required to defeat Aghanim. No, I'm just kidding. We don't need the bug net. Nobody's going to be going out of their way to get that, I don't think.
I thought you needed the bug net to defeat Aghanim.
I mean, it's certainly more fun for us.
Just a bunch of money in Blindside out.
Yeah.
Nothing really important.
And
the Arrow of Destinies.
That's a unique item, which there is a hint system that is now implemented, and it's nice to know that unique item is not among the pool of things that can be called a unique item by our hints, because that's a bit of a troll. You go in thinking there's going to be something exciting, and it turns out to be the single arrow.
Ooh, Fire Rod and Pointy Stick at the bottom of the well.
Both of those very nice finds early on, and that's going to make Eastern Palace quite easy, because instead of having, there's really 2 dark rooms, essentially 3, but kind of 2 dark areas in Eastern Palace. One of them is very simple. The other one can get a little bit hairy because there's lots of enemies and you need a key from a specific one, but there is a torch you can light in there. So with a fire rod, that is easy peasy.
Yes, indeed. And actually, the single arrow is considered a unique item for the hint system, so there's that.
Yeah, but they found it, so it's good.
They found it, but yeah, so they won't have to run around thinking about it again. But
yeah. And we got a book. We have a book salesman instead of a bottle salesman today.
He wants to promote literacy.
All of these very nice things. We still need a glove and possibly boots if we want to be able
flute.
to.
That's really nice.
My goodness, we're getting a fair amount of value here early on.
I am starting to get flashbacks.
Are you starting to get worried that they're getting a lot of early value and it's going to be a lot of late trolling?
Yes, exactly. It happened at 2 p.m. It'll happen tonight. Mark my words.
Well, if it does happen, then everybody can hashtag blame Claymore.
Well, actually, I didn't roll this seed.
Oh, that's
Oasis
right.
did, so blame Oasis.
Okay. We won't blame the commentator's curse if that happens. All right, we have our flutes. That's going to make navigation very easy. It opens the world up a fair bit, but we don't have access to the dark world quite yet, which is what's really going to open this seed up.
No, not quite. We don't have any pieces of that puzzle yet. But they'll be coming.
Mm-hmm. See what we have at the race game here. Oh
Ooh,
my.
upgraded pointy stick.
I'm going to dodge that bird. NY Rambler heading back in. I'm going to pick that sword up, I think.
Yep.
Thank you.
Tankier run of the race blind. He's going to be happy with what he finds there.
Yeah, Master Sword. It's interesting when you start getting into the more bosses with a lot of health later in the game. You start to think Master Sword's not all that great, but early game Master Sword is a treat.
Yes, absolutely.
Also gives you access to those sometimes helpful, sometimes hurtful sword beams, which I find usually just prevent me from hitting things with a tempered sword. But Master Sword, pretty good. Oh,
Oh,
missed the sword there.
forgot to pick up the sword. Whoops.
And then I had to dodge the bird again. There we go. We got Raylan Tankier heading into the swamp. Kind of, this is the precursor to the swamp, just to give you a little taste of what it could potentially be. Might be a pendant dungeon, though. I'm sure nobody really wants to have to muck around in there.
Just some soggy cash.
Yeah, not enough worth going for. Everybody's pretty rich so far in this seed. They should have all the money that they need technically. Now it's just if you want to buy yourself any potions, if you happen to find a bottle.
Yep. And all the runners are actually taking the same route. They're. I'm pretty sure our top 2 runners are going to go do South Shore after this. It's a common route in the standard. You got 5 items in Mini Moldorm, 1 over in Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, and Mini Moldorm Cave, I've heard some people call it New Hype Cave because it seems to have value quite a lot of the time. We'll see.
Oh, Flippers in Mini Moldorm. That starts to tell you that you should do something right now.
Mm-hmm. Might want to say hello to a hobo. Might want to take a little trip up to a waterfall. There's a few items that opens up.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
Now, Draco's taken an interesting route. An early Agina check, that might be related to, what was it, yesterday's seed, or was it today's
Today's.
2 p.m. seed? I'm going to check this guy out because, sometimes he's holding on to something pretty valuable.
Unfortunately, today it was red, but it wasn't the cane.
Mm-hmm. Nice to get it out of the way. Meanwhile, another kind of far-fetched location being checked in by Raylan over here.
Finding the Ether Medallion.
Mm-hmm.
That could be important.
It could, although we're in a position where both of our medallion temples could potentially be both of our temples that require access with one of those 3 medallions could be pendants because we don't know yet.
But time will tell.
Mm-hmm. We got a bit of swimming going on.
Highlight Island is... Oh! Well, that's going to be hanging over everyone's head for quite a while to come.
Mm-hmm. That is nice to know, though. Boy, as soon as you get Dark World access in that mirror, that's a quick check to make, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're going to want that.
Our bottom half of the screen in lock step here, or lock swim.
Just some explosions.
Not something that you necessarily want to find. Sometimes you don't mind getting a pickup like that early in the seed if you're running a little low on bombs, but for the most part, those kinds of finds are not usually all that exciting.
No, but it does remove one of the somebody friendlies in the hint system, which could be important.
That's true. There's a few friendly people around Hyrule. It's nice to know who your allies are in this dangerous world.
And there's the mirror.
One piece of our boots puzzle.
Nice early find.
Also, that gives us access to Tower of Hera at this point. With fire, we should be able to clear that if we want.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Blue mail on the Zora's Ledge.
That's worth picking up, I think. We've gotten a few hearts, but we don't have the most healthy seed, and these guys have got a lot of work to do. So
Yep.
probably worth going just a little bit out of your way if you're going to head up and give some money to a big fish anyway.
Yeah, you're right there. You got the flippers. No reason not to.
Mm-hmm. Having said that, we'll see if anybody disses it. Yeah, a little bit of a bad deal from our Zora friend there, but could be worse.
Well, that kind of sucked.
But hey, we got a mail out of it.
Yeah, I can't argue with that too much, I guess.
Yeah, I'm getting that whole kind of area checked out. The only thing is that if something happens to be on our other big fish friend, the catfish, it's going to be a lot less likely people are going to head up there when they have access to the Dark World because, they've checked a lot of stuff around there. It's a long way to go for one thing now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was gonna happen anyway because the mirror was in the waterfall. There's no real efficient way to route that without it.
Yeah, that's true. Now we're going to maybe see some people taking some different routes. I would
We
love to
got
see somebody
Rambler.
going to Eastern.
We got. Looks like Rowling Tankier might be making that play. Rambler breaking sequence to rescue the old man, and we might actually see Rowling dive into Sahasrara to get knowledge about the green pendant.
Oh, that would be nice. That would be useful in a seed like this, where usually you have some semblance of where at least one of the pendants is, maybe two. But in this one, that's valuable information right now.
Swamp Palace is our green pendant today.
Boy, that could be interesting.
Oh, red mail.
Very nice. That is a check most of our runners are likely to make. So we should be seeing everybody at least in blue mail. I think we're going to be seeing everybody in red mail, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's easily accessible. You're going to be passing by it.
We are seeing our Death Mountain checks here from NY Rambler. Oh, well, that was a good find on top of Spectacle Rock.
I missed you. What is on top of Spec?
Nothing much, just a hammer.
Oh, just a hammer. We don't need that.
Yeah, who needs a hammer? We got his Master Sword already. Why could you need to pound down with a hammer?
Actually, we got a tempered sword now.
Oh, hey! Not a good hint, though.
No. Well, I mean, it's valid, I suppose, but not exactly useful to Link.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the tavern doesn't even sell liquor.
Yeah, it sells ichor, I guess, maybe. That wouldn't be the tavern, though. That would be the witches.
Yeah. I'm really starting to get flashbacks, though. This is suspiciously generous.
Feels pretty good right now. At some point, it's probably going to start feeling pretty bad.
Yeah.
Raylan making some checks in Eastern Palace. One of the items, just a piece of heart. There's our Dark World check.
Ooh. Crystals at Turtle Rock and Swamp Palace and Ice Palace. Blue crystals all down the left side, and Dark Palace is the other good crystal. So, important item on Trinex, necessitating a Turtle Rock pendant dip.
Yeah, Very well could be. Turtle Rock seems to have quite a bit of value these days. These guys are just going to be hoping they don't find whatever medallion they need to get into it.
Yep, that would it would be pretty bad.
There's some cache in Mimic Cave. That was a hint we just got there in Eastern Palace, which is nice to know.
Apparently, we also found the silver arrows, which is a
Apparently.
nice find.
Yeah, it's good to find, especially we already have the bow. That is going to make a lot of things that could be tricky, like for instance, Misery Mire. That's going to make Vitreous an easy boss because we all know eyeballs don't like pointy things.
They generally don't. I mean, I haven't found an eyeball yet that does.
Have you been looking for them though?
Not exactly, no.
Bombs held by someone friendly might be a reference to our friend under the bridge there.
Yep. And Draco getting bopped in the dark room. Whoops. Dark rooms can be dangerous.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. Dark rooms, they're no joke. Some of them are fairly easy. If you are running Link to the Past Randomizer and you haven't tried any dark rooms yet, I would recommend the two in Eastern Palace on the right. But, it's going to take a bit of practice to be able to do it easily. I'm just noticing our old man had a shovel as well.
Makes me wonder what he was doing with that in a cave.
Yeah, maybe he dug himself into a bad situation.
Yeah, maybe he thought it was Minecraft and just fell into the cave.
Oh yeah, don't dig down, man. You never dig down.
He fell into lava that way.
Mm-hmm. Draco getting hit right down to 1 heart from a bunch of trolley boulders there.
Yeah, sky cabbage. Bad noise.
Sky cabbage, I like it.
Amber's about to go brutalize Moldorm.
That was nice. Now, hopefully we have all the items in Tower of Hair there. I wasn't keeping track of what they'd picked up, but I believe I saw at least one other one. We'll see if they go back in. Probably not.
I can't imagine, yeah. It's now, Rambler is going to go give us the good or bad news about Turtle Rock at this point. Actually, no, we can't. I don't have to miss what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he can get
What's
so
he
close.
Gonna do?
And yet so far, and we're seeing Sinak doing the dark room with the aid of a torch, getting through it with no problem. Much easier
Spiral
to do.
Cave.
Spiral Cave. The slow, plodding Spiral Cave.
Yeah, this is not very much fun without boots.
Nope, we still need a couple of items. We're pretty close to getting our boots. We gotta get a glove so we can pick up those heavy rocks. And we need a moon pearl so that we don't just turn into whatever alternate version of our sprite is. Sometimes bunny.
Well, they're the gloves.
Well, there's one part, and I bet you we're gonna find the other part in Paradox Cave because Paradox Cave seems to like the moon pearl these days.
Oh, yeah, and there's 7 item locations there. It's a really dense location.
Meanwhile, Sinak absolutely destroying the Armos Knights, getting $1 for his efforts.
Yeah, that's what Power of Silver Arrows will do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Eastern Palace knew there was no challenge there, so might as well, pay it appropriately. Raylan also getting through the dark rooms and heading over to do exactly the same thing. There it is.
Hey, there we go. There it is.
Wow, and a lamp and a blue bottle.
Oh man,
nice. Very friendly.
it's a lamp that was trolling runners this afternoon.
Oh, gotta love lamp
It was
trolls.
fun. Yeah, the seed too expected you to go to Thieves Town to get the boots, to go to the Bonk Rocks to find the mirror, to go to the Eastern Palace to pull the book out, to go to the Bombos Cabinet to get the lamp, to dive back into Pod to get the mix. It was not great. It was, no, it wasn't fun.
That's bad.
Uh, that is one word for it. Yes.
That's not good. It's very bad. But Rambler now access to the dark world. How soon do we think we're going to see some nice shiny red boots on them?
Ooh, probably inside 2 minutes.
Yeah, just after we
Rambler's
check
probably
Hype
going to go
Cave.
right to.
See if there's any hype in here. Not starting well.
Probably not. Hey,
One
they found a
bottle.
bee.
B's worth a bit, and full heart worth a little bit. That's like a 3.
Yeah, it's not great. Game kind of already spent its excitement.
Yeah, we already had hype Moldorm Cave and hype other Moldorm Cave. Those wiggly little dudes definitely seem to have have all the hype lately.
Yeah, they're feeling left out lately. Can't
Mm.
blame them. But Rambler's finally getting his fleek on with them boots.
26 minutes, 14 seconds. It's time to start dancing.
Yeah. And Rambler's gonna go do a efficient play from Rambler. He's gonna go do Chain Palace of Darkness in the Eastern Palace. I like this play.
That is really good. They do have the full kit for both. So this is one of those instances in which doing a sequence break maybe wasn't a super helpful. Like it was honestly, I think it's gonna come out in the wash a little bit, but yeah, it's nice to see those change together that way. We have a Moldorm fight here, full size Moldorm this time. No trouble at Alpha Draco. Three of our runners now in Tower of Hera at various stages.
Yeah, they're just retreading each other's steps while Rambler's off here. Over in East Dark World.
Has a friend very briefly, and then the friend says, "Can I please have $100?" and then leaves, but opens up another temple for us.
There's some commentary there, I'm sure of it.
Probably. Now it's interesting. It will be interesting to see if it's bow locked, and this seed doesn't really mean much because everybody's had the bow since chest number 2. Well, item location number 2.
Yep.
But not bow locked completely. But because we have that bow, we might see an interesting item in the front of Dark Palace. A lot of the time, all the good stuff is kind of hiding in the back.
I mean, Palace of Darkness has been compared to a mullet before. It's all this is in the front, part is in the back.
I would love to see somebody in today's day and age with a mullet in a business meeting.
I don't know that I agree with that.
That's fair. Yes, the small key there. Always the key that tells you wasted your time, but not all that much. Gonna get another hint here from Rambler.
Yeah, and it's maybe useful.
Someone friendly holds a unique item.
Probably could be referring to the bottle vendor with the book.
Yeah, that could be it, but could be somebody else as well. It's very up for interpretation, that one. There's quite a few friendly
Yeah.
people.
Or the old man with the shovel.
Yep. And we've got Raylan getting a crystal.
Rung getting crystal. Draco walking out of Paradox Cave. Synac going off to take that long, slow walk.
And it's
Gonna
worth
find the
it.
gloves though.
Yeah, it's it doesn't matter if it takes a little while as long as it's got in this case the real prize was not the friends we made along the way or the walk we took around the spiral, but the gloves at the end of it.
Yep. Because I don't see Synac making too many friends in the Spiral Cave so far. He's killing them all.
Yeah, that tends to happen in the spiral cave.
And we're going to see a couple items here from Rambler in the dark hallway in the basement and then in the dark maze. So let's see what we find.
Yeah, probably get at least one little key down here. But what else could we find? Money.
The money that we absolutely don't need.
Yeah, we are rich in this seed. They've already given $500 to a big fish. Got $100 back because he's a good sport. Rambler not checking that bottom chest, trusting that it just has a key in it because we would need one. Getting a blue cane there in the dark maze.
Probably not going to be important.
No, it's just one of those things that if you happen to find yourself with low health because you got a little bit trolled, let's say in the Hellway or something in the in Thieves Town, or it's just nice to have that little safety. Not that any of our runners necessarily need it, but every now and then, get you out of a pinch.
Yep.
Not too much else of value in here, so we're going to be heading back and killing the Helmosaur King. Meanwhile, Draco getting some boots. Gotta feel good.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of the little things you can use the Cane of Samaria for. Rambler using it to push that button down instead of having to push the statue. It's kind of nice. And we're going to see Draco following pretty closely. Oh, hey, look, actually heading a different direction. Maybe going to have a look on the pyramid ledge for us.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do right now.
I have been trolled by that ledge before. I appreciate getting that check out of the way.
And it is Bupkis today.
I wonder if we're going to see a catfish check since they came all the way up here.
Looks like that's going to be Draco's play.
They can't get across to the other side of the Dark World up here. We need the hook shot to do that, so that's got to be where they're going. Unless they have a mushroom, which they don't. It's nice to see somebody doing that check. If there's some value there, then that could be a really good gamble.
Yep. And like I said, it's a gamble that not everybody's going to make because there's no efficient way to route anything back off of it. So you're kind of going up there, then save quit or mirror and back out. So
yeah, but we'll see. Meanwhile, Synac now also has some very snazzy boots. I'm gonna go see a child and see if he has anything in exchange for a bottle.
Nope. Just bombs on both Catfish and Sick Kid.
Everybody's feeling explosive today. Synac almost trying to get into Thieves Town, or rather the Village of Outcasts. by way of lifting up the big rock, forgetting they don't have gloves that are quite good enough yet.
Oops.
But Draco getting a heart in one of the bonk checks.
This seed's starting to get pretty healthy.
Yeah, especially with the red mail. I think people are feeling pretty secure. They got some bottles that they can fill if they need. And they have a cane of Burna for some invincibility if they need it. Other safety items would include the powder, which would let them turn anti-fairies into fairies. Incredibly useful in a couple of the later dungeons.
Yeah, sometimes you just need that safety.
Mm-hmm. But with our fire rod, we're seeing Sinek moving through Skull Woods here. Just going straight to the back. We'll see maybe if they go back through after taking care of Mothula.
They're counting items as they go, so they're gonna know pretty quickly if they need to.
We could get a pedestal check too, if we're lucky.
Ooh, you're right. Sinai could be the hero we all need.
Oh, maybe it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
All right, everybody hold your breath.
Oh, nope.
Pet is dead.
Rip.
Nobody needs love that bad. Ah, well. So we're not going to see any Aghanim. We're not going to see Aghanim 1 anyway. We're not going to see a pedestal, but that's fine. Interesting things can continue to happen.
Yep, the seed still has plenty of opportunity to troll our runners. There's still a couple of items that could just be lurking God knows where.
Mm-hmm. And some of the pendant dungeons, I mean, all of the pendant dungeons are ones that nobody wants to have to dip into. Ice Palace, Swamp, and Turtle Rock. Nobody wants any of that.
No, the probably the worst, the three worst dungeons that could possibly be pendants.
Yeah, exactly. So, interesting to see what is going to come of that. If anything, perhaps this will be a nice seed and nobody will even have to dip into the pendant dungeons, but that doesn't seem to have been the way that the logic of this version of the randomizer has liked us lately.
Like the runners, at least. They've liked the viewers a lot. Everybody likes watching it.
It's true. All right, it's moth time.
Tempered sword, fire rod, red mail. This moth is going down.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
And just the map.
Nothing too exciting except for that crystal. Definitely exciting to get those. We need 7 of them to get into Ganon's tower. Meanwhile, Rambler just murdering our most knights. Very nicely done.
Sonic making his way back through, probably hunting for another item out of here.
Yeah, they kind of skipped to the back, hoping that there might be something on the boss or kind of in the back room, but there really wasn't anything, so maybe there's some value in the front here. Not too much yet. Oh, really? Trying the bomb jump, that's tough.
Yeah, it's if you're on the wrong pixel, you're not making the jump.
Can you tell me why do people call it the yump instead of like why is it a yump in that particular instance?
Uh, I think the jump has to do. I think I want to say it comes from Super Mario World speedrun, where a jump is when you just bounce off one of the large switches that you find.
Right.
But I could be wrong. I don't know. There's no switch here, so I don't know why it's called a jump. Maybe it has to do with the fact that you're kind of walking through the wall there.
Yeah, I don't know. We did get a bumper cave check, and I'm sorry to say our runner's just gonna have to suffer through tempered sword in this seed because there are butter swords on the ledge. Unless somebody finds a cape and really feels like going for a walk, we're just gonna have to deal with tempered, I guess.
Yeah, the value proposition is not there for butter sword, unfortunately.
Now, if it was master sword to get a tempered, I bet you we'd be seeing somebody picked up a cape.
Absolutely.
Definitely, but tempered is just it's beautiful. It's lovely. Nothing much above the pose today.
No, not like the 2 p.m. seed.
Nope, nothing. Nothing
earth-shattering there.
Earth-shattering. That's right. That's great. But maybe something in the King's Tomb. Rambler trying to close in on an item. Not gonna find it here though. Just a key.
No.
We have a Poseidon's Shadow in the chat saying, Yump is from Super Mario World speedruns. Yes, it's a frame-perfect trick that jumps you off a Switch Palace large P. Off Switch Palace large P switches. It's a swag thing. Doesn't cost you time or anything. It's always fun to see. I do recall seeing them in various races, especially in AGDQ, etc. But yeah. So for some reason, it's also a yump when you make your way over to the. It's funny because if you fail the bomb jump, it definitely would lose you a little bit of time for us. So.
Yep.
But worth going for because if you make it, it is a good save of time for sure. Oh, here's Sinek in Thieves Town.
See how he gets on here. There's a hint here which could be fairly valuable.
Yes, it's interesting seeing the way that's changed how people play that room. You have to not trip the switch immediately, which of course everybody's trained themselves to do super fast. Yep. Not finding too much in the first couple chests. 2 more chests here to check. They do have the key already that will let them open the door to the big chest, and now the big key, which they needed to find.
Yep. So they're probably gonna poke their heads into there and get the big chest on the way to find the maiden.
Yes, we have to rescue the maiden. That's very important.
You kind of need to do that to kind of get the kind of medallion or crystal.
Yeah. Meanwhile, a little high five from Draco and Rel in there on the left side of our screen. One of them just going into the boss fight as the other one finished it off and is flying off on their bird friend's back. Now Sinek getting through what we call the Hellway here. Not too much trouble with red mail.
Because you can called the Hellway because you can get bullied pretty easily by all the spikes and the starfishes and whatnot.
Huh.
Thanks, game. You're useless.
That's got to be like the next level of hints hints have to follow a logic, so they don't give you a hint for something that you literally couldn't be here unless you had the moon pearl. That's probably too
Yeah,
much.
that would be nice.
We'll see. I think there's a little bit of just kind of it's fun that it's completely random. We'll see if they find that there would be any value in trying to build into that logic anymore. I think with every change they make, they have to think of like whether this is going to make it too easy, whether it's going to take away the fun of checking item locations. Like,
Yeah.
it's a fine balance.
We're gonna get a pyramid fairy check for Ron here.
Oh, that's a good
See what
choice.
she's got.
That is definitely a good choice because, if you happen to have those two.
Ooh.
Mm,
Ooh. Hmm.
hmm.
That could turn out to be a thing.
I'm going to pick up a potion here, and then who knows, maybe we're going to be going on some we have some fetch quests open to us now.
Yeah. And a very important question is, would you like to do a fetch quest, Cataclysm?
Yeah. Does it
Fetch quests turned out to be very, very important this afternoon.
Mm-hmm. I like fetch quests. I feel like it's the true soul of the randomizer. Ooh, that was a good find in the big chest in Thieves Town. That was Bombos in there.
Ooh, that could turn out to be very interesting.
So we have 2 of our medallions located. Now we know we're going to need to get into Misery Mire. We don't know if we're going to need to get into Turtle Rock, but boy, it's looking more likely that we'll be able to if we want to.
Yep, and there are those silver arrows in Eastern that Draco just found.
Yeah, all of our runners are going to be making use of those silver arrows, have been enjoying their benefits. Sinak setting up to kill blind as quickly and efficiently as possible here. Not quite the quick kill, but doing a really good job of keeping everything under control.
Yep, blind is unique in that any weapon that damages blind only does 1 point of damage to him, to her, whatever you hit her with, and it takes 9 hits to kill her. So she's kind of unique. And
yep, anything from the hammer to the plastic sword to the butter sword, it's all alike to blind. They can't see what you're holding, so that's probably why.
And blind is on a strict pattern, so if you know the fight, you'll keep it under control all the time.
Now, Rowland gonna be giving some powder to a bat.
This could end up being important, but not today.
Everything could be important. That's what makes it fun. And sometimes the fun's in quotation marks, but, you know. So, Sinak jumping off of the bottom of the Village of Outcasts, not finding a lot of value in there. Can't get back up that way now, but there's some checks that they can do here. Time to dig. They could dig up to 30 times. Lots of digs so far.
Yep. To get not a whole lot.
Just a little piece of love. But it's nice to have the mirror and the shovel because you can check a few things in rapid succession over here. Nice big heart in cave 45.
Always good if you can get a heart container without going too far out of your way. You may as well.
Yeah, we're looking pretty solid now. We're getting into the second row of hearts. No value from Stumpy, our friend who lives on a stump. We're very original with our nicknames.
And we spent all of our originality coming up with names for the room.
Yeah, I think you're right. And different nicknames for Sahasrara at the end of the game.
Yes.
I like Sassafras, that's my favorite.
Sarsaparilla is also good.
That is good. Now it's time for Senak to head into the Palace of Darkness. So our runners all retreading their steps. I think they're all getting to a point where they kind of have to decide, is it time to dip into a pendant dungeon? We need another glove. That's where we're starting to be. Let's see. What do we have to do? We need to get into Misery Mire. That's the main thing we need another glove for right now.
Yeah, those mitts are shaping up to be kind of hidden.
Yeah, we're seeing people covering, like, where they're at a point right now where people can make progress and check items, and they're doing that, but it's getting to the point where they're running out of things that are both item checking and progress.
Yeah. Bus driver in chat saying mitts in first half of swamp. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, swamp's interesting. It's got one check that you can make even if you don't have what would it be? Oh yeah, if you don't have the hammer, there's the thing that you can check right at the beginning of swamp. If you have the hammer but you don't have the hook shot, you can still do left side swamp. And nobody likes doing left side swamp. It just takes a while. It's a lot of busy work to just do 2 checks. Especially without the hook shot, you have to do kind of 2 checks slowly.
So while our runners are retreading ground, I'd like to take a moment to plug a event that Speedy Game is going to be hosting this fall, October 24th to 27th in the Washington D.C. area. We're going to be having a live event, a live group of tournaments of Link's Past Randomizer, Ocarina of Time Randomizer, Mario Maker 2, anything else you can think of. We got a $3,000 prize pool. Additional tournaments of other games. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tickets go on sale starting July 5th. For entrance in the tournament, I think. I'm not sure about just strictly attending, but it's gonna be a fun time.
That does sound like a fun time. We're getting a tablet check. Not much money falling out of the sky, though. Rambler gonna be heading over to Desert Palace. Interesting. We haven't seen anybody else take a dip in there, but they've had that book for a while. It's got to be heavy.
Yeah, got that book. All it does is translate Ancient Hylian. What are you gonna do with it? You're gonna enter Desert Palace.
Yeah, and it is a crystal. As we know, all of our Light World dungeons are crystals, and they have the boots, they have fire, they have a glove. They can complete Desert Palace totally, so this is definitely the right move. Before you start dipping into pendant dungeons, we may see mitts in here.
Ooh.
If we do, then the seed is very nice.
Which practically guarantees that we won't.
Yeah, this will be where the seed starts its trolling. It'll give us some sort of a weird fetch quest item.
Mushroom in Desert Palace.
Yeah. Mushroom and then hook shot.
Ooh.
Hook shot.
Oh.
Send us into the swamp.
That's nasty, and I love it.
First item, just a piece of heart. But there's still time. It could be. It could be.
About to get that all-important torch check.
Now I didn't keep track of. Aha!
Oh. Oh.
Who called it? Who did it? It was me. And you make that in plain sight. Could be that. It's literally pointing to itself.
Okay. Okay, game. So it begins.
Wow. All right. Well, that's what I wanted. I guess, and that's what I got. So
you can go home happy now.
I can. We'll probably find Mitts in Swamp, but I mean, we know it's not on the pedestal. We've checked the pedestal, so that's not going to happen. But
yeah,
but could be buried deep in Swamp. Could be on the boss of Swamp.
I want to see Mushroom on Argus to Witch.
Yeah, and then maybe we need to get into we'll need to go into Ice Palace to get the last medallion that we'll need to get into Misery Mire or something like that.
Yes.
Ice Palace seems to like to hold medallions. That's what I have seen lately. I like our very stunned looking sort of Homer Simpson there watching that red what are they, mimics, I guess?
They're gorillas, actually.
Yes, that's right. I knew they weren't mimics, but I couldn't think of the word, and they were the same shape in my mind. Pretty quick kill on those land molas.
All right, and now Rambler's off to Swamp Palace because that's the only place he can go.
And Swamp Palace extra fun because it is the green pendant, which we know gives us an item from Sahasrahla. So if Sahasrahla has some, mitts in his back pocket, then that would be kind of fun too. Or
that would be fun.
Or if he had the mushroom in his back pocket.
Yeah, he's got the drugs. He just wants to trade drugs for something shiny.
That's not a good message.
It's really not. Oberon making a good point. Rambler hasn't done the Pyramid Fairy to Catfish loop sort of thing, so he might do that before dipping Swamp, because who wants to actually go dip Swamp, really?
And nobody wants to dip Swamp, but if you are given a hook shot, doesn't that feel like it's like, admit one entry to Swamp?
Yeah.
Also,
yeah, the hook shot kind of screams that, but
there is a hint there too, so it's not completely without merit. But we're definitely seeing Rambler doing some other checks. Gotta bonk into some things. Just closing in on an hour here, and Rambler has a lot of crystals.
Yeah, he's just looking for that last little bit of access.
I think they've made the decision. You gotta go. You gotta check all the things. Oh,
literally all of the things.
Are we getting? What are we getting over here?
We're getting a.
They're getting a check.
Hasn't checked the lumberjack ledge.
That's a fair check at this point.
It is. You got the boots, you got everything you need, but unfortunately, it's just a bug now.
Okay, must be a little bit of a relief, but now also, that's just another sign. Just pointing you toward the swamp.
And that's right where Rambler's going.
Mm-hmm. You can't deny it. You have to give in to your destiny. And your destiny is always in left side swamp.
Or you could go
Pyramid.
do the Pyramid Fairy.
Uh-huh. Got a last location, that swamp check, probably.
Yep.
We're seeing 2 bomb runs at the same time here. Sinek also thinking about doing this before heading to... A little bit surprised that they're doing this before heading to Desert, but if they had some Dark World checks they wanted to do anyway, that's a reasonable one to do. Meanwhile, Draco cleaning out Thieves Town, going to be picking up Bombos here shortly, and Rallin doing that series of checks that just a little bit disappointing all around.
Yep.
It's interesting when everybody has boots fairly early on, watching people's different strategies and how to navigate the world with the boots. They're definitely they're an asset, but you know, they can also drive you insane sometimes.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, the right side of the screen in sync over here. Well, not in sync, but definitely on the same wavelength.
Yep, heading in the same direction, making the same check.
Neither of them going to be super happy. Meanwhile, Draco picking up a crystal, killing blind efficiently.
Probably get Rambler heading right to the Swamp House. I just can't really put it off anymore.
Yeah, I think you're right. Meanwhile, Rollin getting done checking that pesky location with the old man, and going to be heading into Desert Palace now with that book.
Yep, not gonna be happy.
Yep, not gonna like the prospects after that.
Okay, getting a King's Tomb checker.
Don't think we found too much value in there. "'Tis a poor king indeed who is buried with no more than $20.
Oh, he spent all his money building that tomb.
I mean, it's a nice tomb. Draco noping out of that heart. Well, maybe going back for it. You know what? Why not? Treat yourself. Sometimes I feel that way, like, you know what, I came all the way here for this, I'm going to pick this item up. It's not going to give me any progression, but it's going to make me feel better about myself for a second. Rambler may be checking in on the powder before going to Swamp. Get everything else out of the way.
Yep. It's a decent check to make. You're here, it's here. It might keep you out of Swamp Palace. It won't.
And with Mirror and Boots and the Flute, our runners do have a fair bit of ability to move around in the world and might make some of these checks that otherwise, you might want to condense everything, but you have a lot of freedom when you've got all that movement option.
Almost too much freedom in this case.
Yes, we had a lot of freedom. We saw everybody taking different routes, but ultimately everybody completing the same things and everybody's getting into the same bottleneck, the bottleneck of the hook shot.
I mean, the hook shot's telling you where to go, but you kind of don't want to.
Yeah, here's the the troll hint and the hook shot. Ooh, a spike cave check here from Rambler. Boy, they are trying absolutely everything to avoid going to swamp.
They do not want Swamp, and I don't blame them.
No, me neither. I mean, it could be the mitts in here. 100%
Could be,
viable.
but it's not.
No.
Games like, nah, buddy, go to Swamp.
Yes. We've been saying it. The game's been saying it. But their hearts are saying anything but swamp. So far, they've had to do so little checking things that aren't directly in their path, and now it's just... Now everything is a possibility. Rambler's finally doing it.
He's finally embracing his destiny.
Meanwhile, Rowlin has a hook shot. I think similarly is trying to avoid going to swamp.
Chat just said Quake required to open Mizermeyer, Quake on Trinex. I love it.
That's
Ice
pretty
Rod
good.
buried in Ice Palace.
Or Ice Rod on Sahasrara, so you have to do all of swamp and then take the pendant over to him.
Yes, let's
Or
do it. Let's do
mushroom
it.
is a lead up to any of those.
Yeah, just throw the mushroom anywhere.
All right, first look at swamp. I'm not finding too much. What that first chest that Rambler checked a moment ago means is that there's something on left side.
Yep. Just soak it in, cause you're doing it.
I mean, you might as well. At this point, you're going in not with the intent on killing the boss. You're going in to check chests, and if that's what you're doing, you might as well just do left side and get it out of the way.
Because if you don't, it's gonna hang over your head the rest of the seed.
Ugh, yeah. Or you got to go back in and do it, and then it's slower to do it because you can't do it the fast way. If you decide to go in before going to the back, you can use this little key up here and kind of shorten the horribleness that is left side just a little bit.
Ooh.
More stuff just pointing to that left side of swamp.
Oh no, Rambler just diving for Argus right away.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it in terms of the logic requires the hook shot, it's the back part of swamp that requires it in terms of item progression. Like the left side you could have done before, as long as you have the mirror and the flippers and the hammer.
Could have, But if you think about it, you're not going to go here unless you're being pushed here because it's a green pendant. So.
Yeah. So I don't mind this. I don't mind this, assuming that your hookshot is actually a progression to another item. We'll see. That is our first shield.
Yeah, it's been kind of shieldless so far. But oh man, Swamp Palace coming up dry.
I don't think we've found a big key yet, have we? That would be
no.
That would be great if it was big key to have to re-enter swamp and then get something.
Big key on Argus to diving back in for big chest and left side. Oh god, that's ugly. Which means it's what's gonna happen. You know that, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we're gonna see big key here.
All right, here's Argus, one of the many weird eyeballs / puffballs of Link to the Past. Are those the same? Okay, those aren't the same. Just for a second, I thought those were the same sprite as Cold Stare, but smaller. They're not, though.
No, they're not.
They're just similar.
All right, let's see what Argus drops. He drops the big key!
Back in we're going.
Oh, yeah!
I mean, and you can't leave and check the pendant and come back because you have to open everything up again, so you might as well just go right back in.
Yup.
Yep, so right now, Rambler and Sinak in pretty close proximity, though one has a lot more to do. We'll see if Sinak goes straight to the left side. Be an opportunity to catch up and pretty much be on equal footing to Rambler.
Let's see what we got in the big chest. Let's go. Aw, $50.
Time for left side.
Whoops, did not need to do that. Oh well.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
There goes your
There goes my meme.
Yeah.
Sad. Oh well. Oh well, left side will provide the meme. Let's do it.
Usually does. Now Draco armed with the hook shot. We'll see if they, as everybody else did, avoid everything or if they go for it. Nope. I think they might be going for it.
He's diving straight in. He's not going to get baited away.
That could be a really good move. But we'll see. Maybe they're going to head up around and start doing those other checks. I hope they go straight for Swamp because that's going to make things a pretty tight race here with all of our runners in Swamp. I would love to see that.
And if Synak just tightens things up a little, he'll be neck and neck with the Rambler coming out of it. But for now, we're going to get the left side checks from Rambler.
Oh, it's so close. I can feel it.
Here we go. What do you got for us, Swamp?
What are you gonna do?
Continue the meme? What was that?
Synak, heading straight back.
Oh, yep.
About the hookshot logic.
Ooh, I don't, Oh well. Oh, final chest got the goods. What do you got for us? Oh, Swamp has nothing.
Wow.
Except for the pendant. The pendant's got the value.
What? That's a pretty big troll. Now.
Wow.
So the pendant. Does the pendant have to have the value? Or yeah, it has to because we can't get an Ice Palace.
Yep, can't get an Ice Palace, can't get a Misery Mire. So you're going back to Sarsaparilla.
I like it. Could it be? Is it going to be Mitz or is it going to be the troll of the mushroom?
Give us a mushroom.
That's what we want. Give it to us. Give us what we want.
Let's do it, Seed.
He's got a bomb ready.
He's gonna... Oh God.
There's
it's the Mitz.
2 bombs for the old man.
Oh well.
Wow. So, Swamp to completion 4 submits from an old man that we have talked to. It was so long ago, almost as though he's around at the beginning of the game, like some sort of a wise sage.
Yeah. And then we abandoned him, and he was just holding the mitts, just laughing at us the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, he told us where the green pendant was and that he had something for us.
Yep.
He told us. Just have to listen to our elders. That's what this seed is teaching us. So now we know the play is not to go back in and go left, but to just go straight to the old man. But nobody's gonna do that.
No, you're gonna dive back in.
Yeah, it's so punishing having to open it up again. It takes a while and it's just boring. It's not fun to do.
No.
It's interesting. Some things that you just think the whole reason you don't want to do is just because they're boring. There's some stuff in this game that's useless, and I love doing it because it's fun.
Like what?
You know, what comes to mind is that I think the H room in Ice Palace. I love the sequence of events that you go through with to.
Oh yeah, you lift the rock and you go through and you
And then you trick
bash
the bunny pad, and then you get the skeleton to come down. And you throw the skull
bash
at it.
Stalfos in the head. Yeah.
Hit the switch, and then go walk through the incapacitated skeleton and pull the all of those little things. I love doing those. Very satisfying. That's my most satisfying room. Although I love the one in Ganon's Tower with the Cane of Samaria, but that's my favorite. Like just sequence of events.
Yeah.
Rambler just blasting through Mire here. Might be a God Mire, as people are saying in chat. Nice early big key with all your items. We are in go mode.
Yeah, and this time they actually have the Cane of Samaria, so they actually do get to do the Godmire. They don't have to go back out and try to dig through all the chests, the stupid cane.
It sounds like you have an experience with this.
Yes, it happened this afternoon. It was great fun for me.
Meanwhile, all of our other runners on left side swamp right now.
It's almost like this is the bottleneck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all the different routes everybody took, and here's everybody with the same amount of crystals. Not for much longer, because Rambler's heading in to fight a whole pile of eyeballs with a really pointy bunch of arrows. It's going to go pretty fast.
Really pointy, really shiny sticks.
So much lag is going to be caused with all the sparkle. Well, that was easy.
You blink and you miss it.
That is the best mire, the mire that you barely have to do.
And now that Rambler has the final crystal, Casa, do you know why people in chat are just kind of throwing out numbers?
I don't know. Maybe they're wondering which location in Ganon's Tower is going to have that big key.
Ah, there are 22 such locations.
Mm-hmm. And you can guess a number, or if you prefer, it's kind of like a side strat, as you can say what room or location you think it's going to be, like Bob's Torch. But because, you know, it could be different if they go right or left. We're going to just be using Rambler's choices. Oh no, Rambler, speaking of
Rambler
whom.
got super dead rocked.
Oh, that was just mean. Interesting to get the gloves so late, like for go mode gloves, because that means we're not going to be checking any of this left side stuff. Nobody has anything they need. They got a great sword, great armor, and silver arrows. So everyone's just going to be just making short work of Ganon's Tower as much as possible.
Yep. Where do you typically like to call the big key there?
For some reason, my favorite room is the fire snake room. I don't know why. Maybe it's because when you have the boots, you can do that little bash
Bounce past it, yeah.
It's fun. But so I like it when they're in that room. But for numbers, I'm 7's been lucky lately, but I'm gonna say 11 today.
11. I'm gonna say 8 again, and actually, this afternoon, it turned out that if you go through Gannis Tower the way most people go through Gannis Tower, number 8 will put you in the double firebar room that normally has the map. And this afternoon, the big key was actually in that double firebar room. It just wasn't number 8 because people did crazy routing, but it was in double firebar room finally.
Interesting. All right, so it's me and Foxy Loki versus you and Wildfire. And of course, probably if we're both wrong, or all 4 of us wrong, then somebody else can claim the victory. You will win a lifetime supply of randomizer seeds available at ALTTPR.com. I think I have it open
yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
ALTTPR.com. A link to the past randomizer.
We're not qualified to provide medical advice, and be advised that excessive A Link to the Past randomizer play could lead to too much salt.
Lots of salt.
It's terrible.
We're seeing Rambler going with the first 2 checks, nothing coming up yet, heading right. Skipping the tile room, as people usually do.
Yeah, nobody likes the tile room early.
We're going to have some tight timing to get through this fire torch room. Oh.
It happens.
You hate to see that. Especially having already used that big magic refill. So they don't have any misses. All right, gotta get through. Yes.
There we go.
Using that blue potion. A little bit early to use a blue potion, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Means you're going to be missing it for later, but better to not die here. And there's the big key.
Okay, so that was 4 for checks. Oh, and checks just happens to check the other couple chests and gets a half magic. That's awful nice if you just used your blue potion.
Yup.
So I think that was number 4. Who did we have? The guest number 4. Anybody? Nobody guessed number 4. Well, guess we've got the closest one would have been 3 for Triffle 2, I believe, if I can read that properly, or 5 from Ms. Meggie. So, good job, very close.
Yep.
Draco
now to answer a question in chat, Rowland is not in Misermeyer without the MITs. The tracker button just must not have clicked. Happens sometimes. The tracker is kind of weird. And what we just saw from Rowland, the reason the screen kind of hitched right there, is something called spooky action. It's something really weird to do with how the game handles the fire rod shot. If you do a certain couple of actions with the duck and the boots, and it's, we don't have Super Scudge here to drop knowledge on us, but it has to do with like how the little particles happen.
Lots of little particles in this game.
Yep.
Rambler working through what we call the gauntlet here. Doing a pretty good job using some silver arrow strats, which are very nice for especially the ones that just like to give you some problems, like that red skeleton.
Yep. And
a little low.
Getting a little trolled and yep, gonna oh god. That was close.
They have powder, which is exactly what that little bunny pad's for.
Phew.
Only 11 arrows, so going to use some fire rod instead of arrows to kill these Lamolas.
That half magic is liking that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And sometimes it pays to check those other couple of little chests. It only takes a second or two. Their room must have been designed for that exact purpose.
Absolutely.
Nice job on the second room with the whiz robes as well. Taking a charge right up the middle there, and which is I've heard it's a little safer to go just a little to the side. So it's a kind of a bold charge there from Rambler.
Yeah, the last thing you want to happen is to like bounce off one of those trident wielding guys and fall off the edge, because that's not fun for anyone.
Yeah, that is no fun for anybody in the family. Draco is doing a lot of hunting here. They have
And
the
now
pen.
he's in a think tank,
They
sitting
haven't
there
found-
wondering.
What have I not done? Well, you got that green thing. Look at that little green necklace. Could put it on, or you could give it to an old man.
Yep,
It would look nice on him.
he might give you his gloves.
All right, here we go.
Oh, Rambler
Moldorm
almost
2.
getting bullied off the edge.
Getting the hook shot ready for our final movement across this little gap here. We'll see if they check this last chest just for fun. Hey,
Hey,
some money.
$300 that you don't need.
Totally useless money. It too can be yours for the low price of wasting about a second.
Yep.
Sinak going left side here. See if they find any fun items over here, but otherwise they're going to be a little bit frustrated in their search for the nice big key. Rambler dealing with some geometry here. Nice double.
Draco's still trying to think about what to do. You get into this position, you've done so many checks, you just don't know what to do.
Yeah, that can be tough if you're a little bit, if you just lose that kind of that train of thought.
He's thinking about it.
But while they're thinking about it, Rambler heading into the final battle. Dispatching Aghanim 2 quite nicely with some good doubles there. Oh, we got some cheese facts.
Yeah, a 57-pound cheese.
That is
It's
a
all
big cheese. It's got to be a big tub.
Yeah. Draco pedestal check, I'm assuming.
You know, that's...
Can't... not gonna help him.
No, oh.
No?
Into the dark world. We're seeing that Cane of Burna coming into very handy for Rambler.
Yeah.
Already into phase 3. Getting the nice early hits to avoid those fire bats, which is a good thing because their health is a little bit low. I don't know how many potions or if any at all that they have. Definitely did find those arrows. Thank you.
Yup.
Not bothering with the torch clicks because we have silver arrows. Only a few. We only have less than 10. Got 9 of them right now, so gotta be a little careful with them, but I think we should be all right. Just need one more.
Missing the first one, hitting the second one. Then while Rambler takes down Ganon.
Very nice.
All he's got to do is not fall off the bridge.
It's happened before. Meanwhile,
It's
Sinek did full
depressing.
left side. Yeah.
But Rambler pulls it off, finishing in 14th place on the restream, or 14th place overall, first restream finisher, with an official SRL time of 1 hour 29 minutes 41. No, correction, 1 hour 29 minutes 6 seconds. And
Very nice.
and we are joined by Rambler in the booth.
GG Rambler.
Hey, GG's.
So Swamp.
Yeah.
Talk to us.
I mean, last location in Go mode was awful.
Yeah, and it being Swamp is even less fun.
I mean, I felt super confident when all I needed was hookshot and glove and mitts at like 35 minutes. And I was just praying I found hookshot before I found mitts, and then, yeah, I did, except I didn't find mitts until it was literally the last possible location it could possibly.
Yeah, and then like diving back in to go to check left side. I mean, it was tactically the only moves you could do. It just ended up being not the optimal choice.
Yeah, I just once I had Dark World access, I just had, all right, let's just complete all the dungeons. Hopefully, we stumble across mitts there. And if I did, I was probably gonna go hope for hookshot and GT at that point. But then I would have found it in desert anyway, because I would have full clear desert. I was gonna full clear everything along the way. So once I found mitts, I probably would have just gone to desert, saw hookshot, and then been in go mode, and then it would have been a lot better. But of course, Sahashla had to have the mitts, and screw us all over there. And then I'm assuming I'm assuming I finished first on Restream, correct?
Correct.
All right, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I finished 14th overall in the race out of like 40. So I mean, everybody else, it was just probably either they gambled Swamp 1, or 2, they just had slightly better execution than I did, because I felt I routed the game perfectly, especially from the light world.
Oh yeah, your routing was on point. Answering a question in chat, first place overall went to Shire with the time of 1 hour 18 minutes 17 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, being 10 minutes out of first is not the end of the world, especially when I'm in the position of last locationing the Titans mitts.
Yeah, the Titans was we were laughing, but I'm sure you weren't.
I mean, you saw what I did. I bombed Sahashla. He shouldn't have done that. He should just, let him in the pod big chest. Like, he's right there. Just leave it in the pod big chest instead of you holding on to it. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, I saw you equipping those bombs before you went. We know what's happening.
Now, was I the first one to find those among the 4 restreamed or not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
You were.
Yeah. We're Draco is still wandering. Draco eventually found him, but he actually sat at the file select screen for a while thinking about it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I think they forgot about the
And the funny thing was, I almost because I found hookshot and where it was, I almost made the play of after killing Argus to leave and turn the green pendant, because I had a feeling that it was going to be the mitts were hookshot blocked. But I decided, you know what, I just want to be safe. Let me just get these 3 checks out of the way, and yeah. I mean, I could have saved what, a minute and a half. That wouldn't have helped much.
Yeah, I mean the hookshot in desert kind of pulled you in the right direction, but also kind of pulled you. I mean, it kind of you ended up diving back in for left side when you didn't need to, but the hookshot did tell you where you needed to go, and we saw you.
Yeah, the hookshot told me that when I found hookshot, and I was like, all right, mitts is probably going to be Swamp, but I had the routing I had in mind anyway, which was do purple chest, do catfish, and then do the other overall checks. So I didn't want to do Swamp at all. I was just like, if it's Swamp, bad beats, whatever.
Yeah, we saw that. You were running on a high roll doing your darndest to avoid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people did that. They were like, okay, what is everything I can check that isn't Swamp? And unfortunately, Swamp was the way to go.
I'm trying to find a scenario where you didn't have go mode being the Titans mitts. The only thing I can think of is if you went to Death Mountain, didn't check Spectacle Rock for the hammer, and instead found Hookshot Moon Pearl. Instead found Moon Pearl gloves on the right side, and that gave you you had that at the hammer. So no, that didn't.
Yeah, you couldn't avoid seeing it.
You couldn't avoid go mode Titans mitts in this seat, I don't think.
Yeah, but I think
Unless you somehow forgot about the East Town Big Chest because it had Bombos.
yeah, that's true. I think everybody had all the tools to get into Desert Palace fairly early, but we didn't see it right
Yep.
away.
I
Am
was
right?
Because
going. I was considering it, but because I didn't have gloves, I couldn't finish Desert. I only wanted to go into Desert if I could complete it. So when I
Mhm.
finished with the dam, I went right to Mini Moldrum Cave. That gave me the flippers, which sent me everywhere else I needed to go. And I decided not to do Desert until I found Titan's Mitts so I could route everything in together. And whenever I found Titan's Mitts and Desert was the last dungeon available, I was like, all right, let me do, when I finished the Overwatch test, I was like, let me do Bombos Tablet, let me do Desert, see what happens. And I was like, thank God the hookshot was in here and not like something stupid.
Yeah, I called the hook shot in there. We were kind of thinking about what we were thinking we would find. Maybe we'd find mitts in there, and and I said no, it's going to be the hook shot to send them into swamp, and it sure was.
Yeah, I've had seeds where mitts were in its vanilla power glove location, and you needed that to get into Mire to complete the seed. So
Mhm.
having a glove upgrade in desert is nothing new, and having to go into desert to get your glove upgrade is just it's kind of rude.
And we got Rowling Tankier finishing in 20th place with a time of 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 44 seconds.
A lot of runners clumped into a fairly short period of time here.
Yeah, we got Thalib99 in 19th place at 1 hour, 35:10. Rowling at 1 hour, 35:44. The Daddy Gamers at 1 hour, 35:48. And Sandra's 316 at 1 hour, 35:59. So,
Wow.
nice clump.
Yeah, I want to point out that a lot of people got their PBs in the seed for a very obvious reasons. I did not. I have a 122 in previous open. So yeah, this is
Yeah. Yep. And we are currently joined, or will be joined shortly, by Rowling Tankier here in the booth. GG, sir.
GG.
So, Swamp Palace. How about that? That was the thing.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
in a nutshell.
if you have mid-go mode, it's whatever you take it. It's still a fast seed then, and I'm more annoyed by all the stupid little mistakes, and my concentration was really somewhere else. This was bleh. This could have been easily a sub 130.
Oh, absolutely. Just with a couple different routing choices. Diving desert early.
I mean,
Couple things.
Speaking on my half, I mean, me going right side against tower is the only reason why I got a sub 90.
Yeah, that right
full
side.
Right, found the early GC big key, and I would have spent a minute if I went left.
Yeah. Even if I didn't change any of my routing decisions, I could have just easily made sub 130 if I didn't basically, or for example, just wouldn't have jumped off graveyard ledge before remirroring, or
yeah, I saw
guess,
that. That was like, uh-oh.
And I guess that one was off stream, but I died in Eastern once before getting the big key, so I had to do the big loop again. Because the disconnection there did distract me a bit, and I died to the anti-fairies there.
Mm-hmm.
Still, we have Cynic finishing up, crossing the bridge, and closing out the seed with an official SRL time of 1 hour 38:36, putting him in 23rd place. We will be joined shortly by Cynic here in the booth.
Seeing Draco go Full left side here, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, not gonna give them the goods.
Okay, here's a question for you and our runners who are better than me. If you accidentally zone out and skip the rando room, like you take that southern teleporter, how do you get back to it?
You cry and you take the mirror and you do the walk of shame back.
That's literally it, eh? There's no fast way to get back to it.
Good thing that couldn't happen to me since I went with full ride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was definitely
Would
good.
have probably just done it today.
And we find ourselves joined by Synac. GG.
Hey,
Hey. So, that was a fun little adventure, wasn't it?
yeah, I mean, like, if all my overworld checks would have paid off, it wouldn't have been so bad. But, last location in the Titans mitts and have it being go mode. It's a good
Yep.
time.
Join the club.
All right, I'm glad I wasn't the only one.
No, that's going to be a common refrain.
Mm-hmm. Everybody on the restream was like, "Oh, really? This?"
I mean, somebody else also rage / Sahashala. Please tell me.
I bombed him.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, the old man's
It was
dead.
well deserved.
Yes, for sure. Like I said, just put it in the pod big chest. What's the worst that can happen? Because once I find a hookshot, then I'm in go mode for 45 minutes, and there's a different story.
I mean, I was actually happy to see the mids at Sarsrada since I didn't have to go back in for the big chest.
Yeah, that wound up being a good play.
I know what you did. So you did full left before killing Argus. Gotcha.
Yeah.
See, I killed Argus first before I did left at all. So I found a big key. I was able to open a big chest. It was like $50.
Yeah, we thought we'd find something in there. Although I was appreciating the decision to go ahead and do the swamp, assuming that it was going to be something locked by the hook shot, which it was, but after a couple of steps.
It was a fun seed, though.
Oh yeah, it was definitely fun.
Yeah, like you always felt like you had stuff to do. It wasn't like you were just doing like a whole lot of one-off checks, except for me because I'm bad. But
yeah, everybody was making progress while getting getting progression items while getting crystals. So it was feeling pretty good for a little while. But we knew it was something had to, the other shoe had to drop at some point, right?
Yeah. Just like this afternoon, generous seeds up front mean it's going to be a pain in the butt later on, and
Mhm.
I was right.
I'm trying to think what I had left when I found when I had Darkworld access and then grabbed the boots. I think all I needed at that point was Hookshot and Titan's Mitts, and it took me like a full 40 minutes to find both of them.
Yep. Same for me.
And I didn't know at the time of Bombos, which was sitting in Thieves' Den.
Yeah, that was fun.
I mean, it was a good seed. I enjoyed it, other than, Mitts being Sasha. But other than that, it was such a great seed.
if I were to do that seed again blind, like not knowing anything about it, right? I should have stuck to dungeons. Like, because I would have gotten that hook shot a little earlier, and then I may have been considered swamp just because of the item density in there.
Yeah, if I had gotten Hookshot before I did Overworld checks, I'd probably go to Swamp before Overworld. Because in my mind, I would think, the Hookshot, is before Gannis Tower, so that means the progression is probably also before Gannis Tower. So I would check the Hookshot locations, which means I would check Swamp, especially with screen.
Yeah, I think if we went and looked at some of the runners that came in, like first, second, maybe that was their play. Like, we're just doing this, we're doing swamp, we're getting it out of the way.
Yeah, I was a little heartbroken when I didn't find anything in there, and I was like, but then I realized that pretty much Sahashala had to be it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was literally a last location for me. Like I even did like Spike Cave. I did
Yeah,
Magic
we saw
Bat.
that.
I just
Yeah,
like
it's
Cave too.
I really wanted to avoid going into Swamp Palace if I didn't have to at that point, because I had already invested so much in overworld checks that I thought I'd at least go the full yard.
Funny thing is, because it was the mitts that were the go mode item, at least it prevented you from having to do all of the East Dark Death Mountain checks and all of the Smith Chain and all that stuff that you'd want to do if it had been something else.
Yeah, thank God Quake wasn't needed for Meyer. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was actually legit scared of that as I was going into Swamp. I was like, I'm gonna find like mitts here, and I'm gonna bail early. There's gambling on it. It's gonna be Quake, and then I'm gonna be spending like 30 minutes hunting down the Quake medallion.
Quick could be
That
in like
thing would be
Ice Palace
literally-
or something.
It could be literally anywhere except GT.
Yep, we were.
Quick on Trinex.
I was wondering if it was gonna be Quake for Meyer. I was kind of hoping for it.
Actually, that would have been a good seed equalizer though. Like that would have really been you would have seen a lot closer times. Like you wouldn't have, I think, if that scenario had come up. But alas, this is rando.
I will tell you, if that was the case, I would have hightailed it straight to Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
It's true.
Same.
There's just for the density and
Because
yeah.
you can check
True.
everything but Trinex, so.
Yep.
Draco has the ice rod. So do you. Oh, Sinek, you got it too. Where's the ice rod?
I don't remember.
Was it maybe
I was-
left side
I
GT maybe?
think the ice rod was in Stalfo's room.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh.
because I didn't get it because I went full right.
I was. Yeah, I was in go mode at that point, so if it wasn't the big key, I didn't care about it.
Yeah.
All right, 154, 216. That's not too bad. Oh, I just spoiled it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I had a 137.
Oh, wait a second. All right, now it's probably 154, 216.
I had a
I'm just guessing
137, so
I
that if we both checked everything, that means that whole difference is GT.
Yeah, because I went left first.
Yeah, assuming yours was like check number 20 or something.
It was 22. I did tile room before that.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah,
Because I was like,
did-
you know what? I've already lost this. I might as well just like completely wallow in my sorrow here and just do tile room.
Yeah. Tile room is for when the gamble also equals an opportunity to cry softly to yourself.
Exactly.
Yes.
I thought I played the seed like the best I could though. I think my
Mhm.
execution was a little iffy. I really need to practice. Like I'm so rough on my execution. It's something that's always been kind of plaguing me, and I just need to spend a lot of time practicing. It could be hard sometimes though.
And it's tough too because in rando it's like there's so many different things to practice. All
Mhm.
the bosses at all different levels of armor and weapons. Some of them maybe not so much like blind, but there's a lot of different things that you could have to take into account in rando.
Ooh, Draco getting bullied by the spark and then losing the tiles to not be able to hit all the torches. That's fun.
Oh yeah, that always feels great. Oh, didn't pick up a key. They're gonna need to go back and get one.
Oh, yep.
He's gonna find out quick here. He's gonna rub
Yeah.
up against that door.
You always
Been there.
you got to do that at least once, and then you realize why you have to make sure you got a key before you come in here.
Yeah.
Unless
I
there's a
always
key in
make
this chest.
I always make it a habit just to always look at your key count before climbing. If it's 1, you know you have to kill the thing. If it's 2, you know
yep.
you don't.
Mhm.
No,
Yep, here we
Draco-
go.
No.
Nope. Rubbing up against the right. It's like, all right, yep. I'm missing something here.
All right. There we go. It's just sitting there for you.
It's like so at AGDQ, I was watching somebody play. Like he was fairly new at Randomizer, and he was like doing like I think his 3rd or 4th seed.
Hmm.
And we're all like just kind of sitting there behind him, and he's climbing GT without a small key.
Oh no.
And Carcat is like right next to me, just like don't say anything. Shh. Because like that's how you learn, right? It's when you make
Yes.
mistakes like that and you get punished for it.
Exactly.
And yeah, in this case, yeah, he had to climb again. We all started laughing. We were
Aw.
maybe a little terrible. I don't know. But oh no, it was a good time though. Speaking about meeting people in person, the SG Live hype. I'm looking forward to it. That's gonna be a really good time if you can make it.
Oh yeah, let's plug that one again. This
Yeah.
fall, October 24th to 27th, in the Washington D.C. area, is going to be a live tournament. Link to Pass Randomizer, Ocarina of Time Randomizer, Mario Maker 2, other games if you can convince Feasel to get them in and get people to play them. Prize pool. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can tell you just based on who's signed up so far in Matcherino, there's some talented people who've signed up already just for the groups, not even knowing if they're going to be able to make it in the bracket through the pre-qualifiers. So I am really looking forward to that and to seeing who comes out on top there. Because it's a live setting can be a lot different. You know, you have a lot of people around you, you have people looking at you. You know, it can be a much different feeling than, you know, just sitting in your room staring at a CRT.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The dynamic changes a lot when you have people to your left and right rather than just, digital people behind a screen.
Exactly. It looks like Draco is he's making his way to GT. I'm looking at Twitch right now, so I'm pretty sure I'm behind you right now. But-
Not too far. He's about to get his
Yeah.
cheese fact from Gannon.
The biggest and heaviest cheese ever produced weighed 57,518 pounds. It's too much cheese.
Thanks, Gannon.
Way too much cheese.
And I love cheese. That's too much cheese.
Another thing about the seed is that, like, there was a lot of safety early on. Like, Uncle said, like, red mail was for cowards. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna. Well, then I see the blue mail on Zora. I'm like, okay, I'll grab that. You know, I don't know where red mail will be at, and then I find red mail, and I'm like, I'm a coward.
Red mail's like pretty much the next thing people got after that.
Yeah. It's like, it just kind of felt like I bet you a lot of people probably did the Eastern Dark Room just to get that all out of the way. There was progression in there anyway, I think. I don't remember, but
yeah, especially we got a fire rod really early on, so even if you don't really like doing that top dark room, you had the opportunity to give yourself a little bit of light to get up to the boss at least.
Yeah, and in V31 with the advanced item placement logic, that room that could be required for you to do that. With the advanced.
Draco's gonna have to be really careful here. I don't think he has any safeties left, and he can't take but a couple more hits.
Oh, we believe in you, Draco.
Yeah, you can do it. Just don't get hit by fire bats.
You have your magic cape. Yeah, that can be. I abuse that because why not? I have half magic. Here.
Yep, torch glitch for Draco. And the weird thing about the fire bats is if a fire bat hits you, you get pushed in the opposite direction that you're pushing. If you push your D-pad left, you'll be pushed right. So you can get kind of trolled that way.
All right.
One more.
Nope. You got one more here.
Nice.
Be careful. There
Taking them out. Get your GG's in chat for Draco.
All
he has to do is not fall off the bridge.
Yep. Didn't fall earlier. Got a little close to the edge, but everything's all right.
And finishing in 28th place with a time of 1 hour, 52 minutes, 37 seconds. Improved his personal best by just over 20 minutes.
Nice.
We'll be joined here shortly. Welcome, Draco.
What a seed.
What a seed indeed.
Oh, it was a fun one.
As soon as I saw how it started out, I knew there was going to be one thing that trolled me all the way till the end, and it ended up being the myth.
You joined the club.
We saw you sitting on the item screen there for a little bit, just kind of looking at your stuff, going, "Okay, what is it?"
Yeah, I literally, like, I even went to Spike Cave. Like, I realized I skipped Spike Cave on accident. Like, oh, I can do Spike Cave. I just can't do anything else on Dark Death Mountain. Well, what do I have to lose? And that wasn't it. So I'm like, what am I missing here? Like, I did everything in the dungeons, and then I saw the green pendant on Swamp. I'm like, no, it can't be.
Yep, and I was telling Casa early in the seed, just like in the seed this afternoon, if a seed is really friendly and gives you a whole lot of stuff early on, it's holding something back and it's going to hit you with the other foot. And sure enough,
Yep, I have to agree with that.
Yeah, you can blame me for the finding the hook shot in desert to bring us to swamp. I called that.
it was pretty great.
Yeah, I knew better than because I had the ability to go into desert before the boots. I knew better. I'm like, no, let me go in after I get the flippers, the moon pearl, and the mirror. Like, let me actually go get those boots first before I decide to dip in there. Because I was honestly hoping to backdoor it along with doing Meyer. Well, that didn't pan out. Speaking of Meyer, though, God Meyer is always nice to see.
Oh yeah.
This was exactly when it was needed to. After all that trolling, it's like, all right, here's a freebie.
Yeah, we're just. I was kind of holding out hope that we would see Quake Meyer to just completely destroy any hope that you had left for the seed.
That was in the back of my mind too. As soon as I got the gloves, I'm like, okay, well, 66% chance that I have access to Meyer. Does it pay off? Thankfully, it did. Yeah, I was eyeing that up. I'm like, please don't tell me I need Quake.
Yeah, because I mean, at this point, Quake is buried in Turtle Rock somewhere,
Easily.
Or maybe Ice Palace.
or Ice Palace,
Or Ice Palace. That's more likely.
Or in the Smith Chain somewhere.
or there. Who knows?
Or on Dark Death
No.
Mountain.
Yeah, no
Actually,
one. Not surprising. I guess Mitts were everybody's go mode item, so I guess nobody checked any.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
everybody
the
on-
times I found the Meyer medallion right next to Meyer in the shed or on Checkerboard Cave is also pretty high. So even if it was Quake, maybe it was just next door.
Yep, that's always fun.
I can't remember. Did I end up checking Meyer Shed, or did I just go straight into Meyer and was just done with it?
I think you went straight in.
Did anyone check Meyer Shed? I actually meant to check in there real quick just to make sure there wasn't anything stupid.
I actually do not recall.
Fair enough. I saw Butter Sword on Bumper Cave. I'm like, well, I guess I'm not getting Butter Sword this round.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the Kate being in GT. I'm like, yeah, okay, not going back for that.
No, it's a
So-
bit
so
out of the way.
I hate right side GT with a passion. So of course, big key has to be last chest or right side, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping to try to metagame it a little bit. I actually did tile chest before the rest of right side, hoping the trolliest spot.
Yeah, that's right. I remember seeing that. And sometimes if you've been feeling trolled, it's good to get that out of the way.
Yep, because I would hate to have to go backtrack back to that. Yeah, what a seed though. Good start, but that green pendant routing definitely threw me for a loop.
Yep, that old man gave us the hint at the beginning about where the green pendant was. Could have given us a wink or something, but no.
Well, I didn't even see him until I had Dark World access, so I knew where the green pendant was already.
Mm-hmm. Well, now might be a good time to remind you who has been tracking this race. We had two awesome people doing that for us. We had, oh goodness, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna and Vince Easter tracking for us. So thank you very much to you guys. It's a lot of work to keep up with a race like this. So we really appreciate everything you put into it.
Certainly, and also big thanks to not on all of our runners, but specifically and especially Draco Falcone, the Synac, Round Tankier and New York Rambler for being willing to put themselves out here like this to be watched by hundreds of people. It's not something everyone can do, and big props to them for doing it. And without them, we wouldn't be here. So,
I just wanted to hype up SG Live.
well, I mean, we can do that again. I mean, October 24th, 27th, Washington D.C. SG Live. Be there.
Absolutely.
That's about it.
I don't think. Is there anything else on the schedule for tonight, or I haven't
Not
even looked?
not before midnight. And I don't know if I can skip forward today. Yes, actually, I can. So
Ooh.
tomorrow we have a bunch of things, and not all of them have channels assigned yet. But at 1 p.m. we have Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. At 2 p.m. obviously we have the Olympic Pass Daily Race, category not determined yet. 3 p.m. we have the Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, as well as another race in the German Link to the Past Randomizer tournament. 6 p.m. we have Luigi's Mansion No Out of Bounds and Metroid Zero Mission 100% tournament, followed by Ocarina of Time Randomizer, Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland again, and Super Mario Bros. Warpless tournament, all occurring at 7. Super Metroid Double Anti-Bingo at 8 p.m. That's already assigned to Speed Gaming 1, as well as another Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. And then at 9 p.m. we have the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Weekly Race, and then capping it all off tomorrow is another Luigi Mansion No Out of Bounds race at 10 p.m. So full day tomorrow. Got a lot of stuff. We don't have channels assigned for most of it, but when we do, they'll be up at speedgaming.org/schedule. But
right.
I think that's gonna about do it for us here in the booth. I've been Claymore729. I've been joined by Cataclysm.
You indeed have, and it's been a lot of fun. And thanks again to all our runners, and of course everybody in chat. It's been awesome to have you. So thanks for joining us.
And thanks as well to the Speed Gaming Network for hosting us. Without their support, we wouldn't be here.
All right, I'm signing off for the night.
I'm gonna do the same. Today's been tiring, very very tiring. My head
Tiring,
hurts. now.
but rewarding.
Yes, very much so.
All right, have a great night, everybody.
Have a good one, y'all.